Welcome to the BMBA Podcast, which airs every Monday at 7 p.m. A podcast where we share all the news, information, updates and events that is happening around the BMBA. If you're a current BMBA participant or a potential one, then this podcast is for you. BMBA Basketball is an exciting new basketball program providing new and innovative concepts and structures for junior basketballers through their training, coaching and games.
Our games are played at the magnificent Stonigan Sports Centre located next door to the Chadstone Shopping Centre. These courts are modern, have great temperature control and have fantastic facilities to host junior basketball matches. Our kids are now enjoying playing at this magnificent venue. On top of that, they are also enjoying the new features and concepts of junior BMBA matches. Features and concepts not seen before in junior matches in Melbourne. These features include a fully timed 60-minute match schedule, where the game clock stops on every whistle. This means there is no wasted time and our juniors get to play every minute of their match. Our juniors are also enjoying playing with a shot clock in each of their games. This provides another unique and exciting aspect to our junior matches.
This podcast will provide parents of our junior boys and girls, or parents of potential participants, with all the information they need to maximize that participation. It will also allow them to ask questions directly to us through the chat function of the podcast. So whether you are a current parent, a potential new parent, a representative from a club, school or another basketball program, we look forward to engaging with you each Monday at 7 p.m.
Hi everyone. Actually forgot to send everyone the link, so I've just sent it. If you're trying to get on, hopefully we'll start again in about 5 minutes. Give everyone a chance if they do want to get on, and then we'll get the program started. Don't want to be on long tonight because Survivor's on, first episode. I'm a big fan of Survivor, so I want to watch that. So we'll get started in 5 minutes, hopefully when we've got one or two others at least on with us, and then we'll get the BMBA podcast underway. In the meantime, check out my new, if I can get it up, it's not there. I just had a new, where is it? Welcome. Oh, bummer. Oh, look, doesn't look like we are doing that. I did have a new welcome screen on, but it seems to have gone missing. I don't know what. I'll have to look into that. Don't know why I've lost it. Share screen, extra camera bars, and presentation, local video. Upload video, don't know whether that's there. Sorry guys, I'm just playing around a little bit here. Image. No. Hmm.
Welcome to the BMBA Podcast, which airs every Monday at 7 p.m. A podcast where we share all the news, information, updates and events that is happening around the BMBA. If you're a current BMBA participant or a potential one, then this podcast is for you. BMBA Basketball is an exciting new basketball program providing new and innovative concepts and structures for junior basketballers through their training, coaching and games.
Our games are played at the magnificent Stonigan Sports Centre located next door to the Chadstone Shopping Centre. These courts are modern, have great temperature control and have fantastic facilities to host junior basketball matches. Our kids are now enjoying playing at this magnificent venue. On top of that, they are also enjoying the new features and concepts of junior BMBA matches. Features and concepts not seen before in junior matches in Melbourne. These features include a fully timed 60-minute match schedule, where the game clock stops on every whistle. This means there is no wasted time and our juniors get to play every minute of their match. Our juniors are also enjoying playing with a shot clock in each of their games. This provides another unique and exciting aspect to our junior matches.
This podcast will provide parents of our junior boys and girls, or parents of potential participants, with all the information they need to maximize that participation. It will also allow them to ask questions directly to us through the chat function of the podcast. So whether you are a current parent, a potential new parent, a representative from a club, school or another basketball program, we look forward to engaging with you each Monday at 7.
So there you have it. That's our new intro into the podcast. I think it works out pretty well. So we'll be using that for hopefully in the coming weeks and months and years. We'll get interest from people from outside the BMBA who come in, gives us a nice little intro and hopefully gives them a bit of information. So anyway, on to the podcast. We'll see if we get many on tonight. If not, we will be publishing this up onto our, oh God, here we go. And just trying to sort myself out. Yeah, so welcome to another edition of the BMBA Podcast, which we hope to make bigger and better every Monday night. The podcast is aimed at our current BMBA participants and anybody from outside the BMBA who may be interested in getting involved in BMBA basketball. So what we do is we take everyone through the weekly events, updates, information, whatever we may have on, and then give a bit of a spiel about the BMBA. I want to cover that in half an hour tonight, so we'll see how we go. It also gives an opportunity for you at home to, because it's not always possible at training or in games, to ask questions of exactly what we do in the BMBA, what might have happened on the weekend, if there's any confusion about programs, which at the moment we don't. So let's get on to the news from the weekend. And on Friday night, we had, again, another great turnout for our under 12s, our basketball plus and our beginners in the kids first. It's all going pretty well. We've had a bit of an increase in participant numbers, which is great. But last week, in the first 2 weeks, we struggled to accommodate everybody. But last week, we got more court space on both court 3 and court 4. And we are starting now our under 12 sessions, or sorry, I shouldn't say under 12 sessions, our basketball plus sessions and our game plus sessions. So whether your kid's in the basketball plus, where they just do the training, or whether your child's in the basketball plus the game, that's our games plus, we now start that at 5:30, not 6 o'clock. The idea is in basketball plus, you should be getting at least one 90-minute session per week in for training, and then you get the game. So previously, because of court space, we could only do an hour session and then the game. Now we're offering the 90-minute session. In fact, we're not just offering a 90-minute session, because we have the court at court 3 from 5 o'clock. So anybody is welcome to come down at 5 o'clock on a Friday night now, and you can shoot around for half an hour. You can get a bit of light coaching from myself. I'll be there setting up the court for the training and the game, so that when everyone walks in, we are set to go at 5:30. Whereas before, we would get the court at 6. I'd have to get the younger coaches out there doing stuff. I'd have to go around and set it up as I'm coaching, and probably 15 minutes in, I'm still sort of setting up, because you just can't set up when there's another group using it. So we've got it for from 5 o'clock onwards. If your child is really keen, or they're just keen for, as they always are, a bit of a shot, we can facilitate that on court 3. On court 4, we have that between 6 and 7. Last week we had a half court. Next week we'll have a full court. So we're going to have 3 groups going. We've got our advanced group on Friday nights, which is the kids that know their ball handling sheets. So they've learnt them. Then we have another group, which is what I would call our intro or development group, whatever you want to call it. And they're the kids that haven't either learnt their ball handling sheet yet and need some help, or they're kids that have just started and are on, the process of starting to learn those sheets. So from next week, they will have a half court to themselves between 6 and 7. In fact, they'll have a half court all the whole time, because they'll have a half court between 5:30 and 6. And then I'm going to have the advanced group on the other half court between 5:30 and 6, but then we're going to move across to court 4 between 6 and 7. So we'll have kids first on one half court on one ring, our basketball plus kid in the beginner groups on the other half court on court 3, and then there'll be the advanced group who know their sheets and really are going to do a lot more advanced drills. They're ready, and they'll be on court 4. So everything we do at the BMBA is done on merit. If your child is, for example, sometimes you can get that green-eyed envy coming in, or what's my child doing in this group when they should be in that group? It's pretty simple to get from the intro group of Basketball Plus, which is obviously above Kids First. The main thing you got to do to get across in there is to learn the ball handling sheet, stage 1. So everyone pretty much on court 4 will be in stage 1. The exception of that, there is a couple of boys that have joined us that have a very high skill level already, and they will learn that sheet pretty quickly. So it's just a bit pointless to put them into the intro group. We'd rather get them involved. So if your child really wants to get over there, their best way to do that is to learn stage 1 ball handling, and we will move them across. So to learn that, they've got to learn all the drills. They've got to learn the entire sheet. They've got to be able to follow that sheet, or even better still, memorize that sheet, because then they go into, once they've memorized it and can do it all and be potentially passed a test, they move into what we call an IDP group. IDP stands for Individual Development Program. So they're the tiers of progression. You start at Kids First, which is beginners. We still teach them the sheets, but the very beginning of the sheets, not the whole sheet. And they've only got an hour, so we probably spend 45 minutes on different skills and drills, and then we try and finish off with a bit of fun and games. In Basketball Plus, it's a bit more serious with a bit more time. And we have 2 categories in there. There's probably what I would call at the moment intro. I've probably got to come up with a better name than intro. But that's where they've been introduced to the program. And once they've really started to learn the Basketball Plus program, they move into the advanced part. The advanced part is starting to prepare them ultimately to be moved into the IDB program if they wish to. All right. So that's how we put the kids and sort them into the different levels of programs, which is unlike anything you would probably find anywhere else. Doesn't matter what level your child's at in most basketball clubs, they're just thrown in with all the other kids, which, you can mount an argument for. But what it does for the kids that aren't quite as advanced as the others, it can be intimidating for them to be doing their training with other kids that are a bit further advanced than what they are. And the hardest part is that self-doubt, thinking they're not up to it. So if we put them into a group where they're really capable of doing those drills, it builds confidence. And then as they stay in the program longer and longer, their confidence builds. And then they get the confidence to go and attack these other training programs. So there's a step-by-step progression. Now, we do have sometimes exemptions like the ones I just gave. We could have kids, for example, who've come from other clubs who are 12 years old, too old for, under 14s, too old for Kids First, probably a bit past the introduction stage of Basketball Plus because they've been playing for a while. We'd then put them into our advanced group, but would commit some extra time to teach them then the ball handling sheet. Now, most of those kids will learn that ball handling sheet quite quickly. So we would probably put them into our advanced group. So every case is different. We make an assessment, and we don't make an assessment on who you know, what you know, who your friends are, all that sort of thing. All our kids, we want to be mates. We want to be friends. We want them to be part of the program, and ultimately to make friends across the board. So it is all done that way for the benefit of your child's skill development, knowledge acquirement, and the building of confidence as we go through. So if you've got any questions on that, don't hesitate to send them through. I would be more than happy to accommodate them. So it was very successful. We ended up having a very good game in the under-12s yet again. We're having an interesting time where because these are intra-club games, which won't be the case. Sorry, I'm just wiping down my screen. It's got the sunlight streaming straight on it, so it's a little bit dusty. And I can see it. But our games have been really good, and we're mixing up the teams every week. That won't continue to happen. We will ultimately split our group into 2 teams, and then into 3 teams, and then into 4 teams. And once we've got 4 teams, we'll start a legitimate competition. So we're getting increasingly closer to that, which I'll go over a little bit later on, strategies to get there. Our under 14s followed up. Now, under 14s, we don't have as many kids. Some weeks we get 8, some weeks we get 7, plus a fill-in from under 12s, which we've done the last 2 weeks. Shout out to Noah for helping us out. We also sometimes get 10 or 11 of the under 14 kids, and we have some really good games. Again, they're a lot more relaxed. They're a lot more fun for the kids, but we still try and make sure they treat the game seriously enough that they can learn something, okay? The games on the Friday, the clocks stop on every whistle. That was, for me, there was a glaring comparison with what we had on Dandenong on Saturday, where in our game we were coming roaring back in our domestic game on Saturday, and then all of a sudden with 4 minutes to go, because the clock keeps running, one of their kids took forever to do up a shoelace. Once he'd done up his shoelace, so the clock's still running, then they're running subs and taking forever. So we lost a whole minute, not with a substitution, not with a timeout, just with the violation. A ball that should have gone in straight away. We lost a whole minute in a game that we were really coming back strongly in. So not worth losing too much sleep over, but we don't want that happening, for example, in our games. If that was in our game at Stonington, the clock would have stopped. We wouldn't have lost any time, and we would have got a game, which is what's happening at the moment. Plus, there's a lot more coaching because I'm reffing and coaching. Obviously, when we start official games, I'm not going to be able to do that. But what was good on Friday night is not only the games, but we've got 4 boys now learning how to coach and how to referee, because we're going to need those coaches and referees moving forward. And well, I think they're enjoying it. I think the parents are enjoying it. And we're going to be able to, as we've done, develop our rep teams, which brings me on to, we currently have a rep team. So on Saturdays, they play out of Dandenong. We've been competitive this year, but I'm not going to lie, it's been a tough old season for us. Only because we're half our team, maybe 2/3 of it, is double bottom age. For those who don't understand bottom age versus top age, there's a 2-year gap in basketball in most competitions. And in that 2-year gap, for example, in under 14s, a boy or girl born in 2013 are considered top age. They're older. And the boys and girls born in 2014 are bottom age. So if you're bottom age, you're younger. If you're top age, you're in the older bracket of that 2-year gap. If you're double bottom age, like a lot of our kids are, because we had to do this to enable the top age kids to be able to have a team to play in. So we've got boys who could legitimately play under 12s. So we've played against some monsters because, we're effectively playing in an under 15 competition. So just physically, it's been harder for the kids, but they've stuck at it well. We've been really competitive in our last couple of games. I'll give you I've lost my screen. I'll give you an idea. I'll share that screen with you. Where is it? There we go. So since Christmas, we've come back. And the boys, in their own age group, had a great time. Now I can't find. Had a great time in the tournament in the Australia Day weekend. We got belted a little bit. This is the top team, 38-18. But ever since then, these games we could have won them all: 32-27, 34-28, and 39-32. All of them are very similar, and that we keep giving away big starts and then we come roaring back. So I've got to find a way to get the boys a bit more focused and a bit more on. But we're starting. You can see the improvement coming out right now. We are so close to being a very good team. But in basketball, like in any sport, you have your ups and downs. So this was our game from the weekend. The week before, I thought we played a really good game. And there were some real highlights amongst it. This week, we probably took a step back, if I'm being honest. We only had the 6 boys, but that's not a reason to not do well. That's actually a good opportunity for the boys to get some court time. Still waiting for the page to come up. Sometimes this Play HQ page is not great. Have you got it there? No, it's a blank screen, so I don't know what's going on with Play HQ. We'll give it a minute or two while I'm talking. Or maybe I'll just go out. I'll stop sharing again and try it again because that doesn't look like it's coming up. Player HQ has been a bit, for those who don't know, they have an online software for domestic games right across the state through Basketball Victoria called Play HQ, and it's decided to play up. Now it's asking me, and this happens often. I'll give you an indication. It's so annoying. I find it, I work with a lot of apps, and you get this all the time with Play HQ. You'll see it in a minute. You've got to confirm you're a human. So, for example, I've got to click the clocks. I know it's two-factor authentication, but they do it all the time. It's insane. But anyway, so success. There's our page. And here we go. So we'll have a match report. So we're hoping in next season, there'll be letters of invite going out very soon. For an under 14, we'll definitely have an under 14 boys team, I think. We're hoping to have an under 12 boys team, and we're hoping the season after to have a under 12 girls team. That's what our goal is. While we're running our domestic matches out of Stonington and having these teams represent us at Dandenong. These are our rep teams, which is different to the way normal rep goes on. So this was our opposition on the weekend. I want to go through the advanced stats and the play-by-play. So we'll get a bit of a match report. So we got off to a slow start, 0-4. We came back a little bit, got it to 8-6. We weren't playing well at this stage, and then got it to 8-8. But there was danger signs there. We just weren't running the offensive stuff we'd been working on. At training where I am with the boys at the moment, and this any coach who knows this, we're doing some really good stuff at training, but we're not bringing it to a game at the moment. So as a coach, you can get a little frustrated in this and see like this is what happens very, very often. We start well, and then we let a team get on a run. So they've just had what they call a 9-0 run, make that a 11-0 run, and then we start getting back. So we've gone, 4 or 5 minutes without scoring while they're scoring, and we go into half-time down 21-10. So, that is not a good first half, and that's not a good from 7 minutes 50. So they're 20-minute halves. So we've had a bad 8 minutes. So with 12 minutes into the half, we're tied 8-all. The next 8 minutes, we've lost, 13 points to 2. So you just can't have those runs. And we just weren't doing a lot of the things we're working on at training, things that the kids who aren't playing at the moment in those teams will be learning. So, for example, matching up, boxing out, calling numbers, little basic things that keep leading to easy baskets for the opposition. And we've done this for now a couple of weeks. So it really got out to 23-11. We're down there. But then we started to get our act together. So it's not looking really good here at 29-16. We're down 13 with 10 minutes to go. This is a common problem with us. So I do like the fact that we fight it out. But then the boys, we're running what we call a full court press, a run and trap defense. And now all of a sudden we start getting it back. So it's taken me 30 minutes to get the boys to bring into the game what they've done at training. And all of a sudden, everything changes. 33-26, 34, we're coming back in, 35-27. And it was about here when we were really coming in that when we got it down to 7 points, that they did their little time delay thing. So oh, God, something's gone wrong with their software there. So we got it back, I think, at one stage to 5 points. There we are. So this timing here is not right. So we got it back to 5, ended up going down by 7. But, when you're down 13, you're playing catch up the whole time. So the boys have got to learn to bring their best game from the very start. and to follow those instructions that we're working on a bit better. The week before, we were really good in our instruction and how we played the game. This week, we fell away. And that's common with junior sport. That's not a criticism. It's just an observation. So hopefully, our last 3 games, we can get that going. We're not going to make finals, but that doesn't bother me because we're focusing on next season when the boys are going to be top age and half the team's going to be bottom age. We should play a much better brand of basketball. And we've also got a tournament coming up over the Labor Day weekend. So in many ways, we're preparing for that. As you can see, Zachy Chester had a very good game. Despite having to go off for a corker. He's lost the touch on the 3. We got to get him back on that, but he's listening very well. He was very strong inside. We're playing a new offense for the boys because we face a lot of zone stuff. And when we say zone, there's big guys just sag in the middle. So we've done something different with Zach and with the other forwards in Tahan and Caden. You can see there Tahan got 7 points. So that part is working for us, but we've got to get other boys more involved. So Zach had a great game, got to the free throw a lot, which is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to get their bigs in foul trouble. We did this well the week before as well. And Zachy got inside, scored. He could have actually scored another 3 or 4 baskets. But he played a really strong game. And he's coming into his own as what we call a point forward. So he's rebounding a lot, dribbling it out, getting us on fast breaks. Jackie Jamison is improving with every week. Playing hard. His first half, I think he would agree with me, he wasn't at his best to what he's been. But what I'm liking about Jack now, we brought him off. We had a word or two. Sometimes they can be stern, sometimes not with me. But Jack is actually responding to that feedback now. He's not taking it as criticism. He's responding. And his defense in the second half, that really helped us come back. So wasn't as good as his game last week, but was good. Tahan got 7 points. His offensive skills are good. He just needs to get his defensive skills up to speed with that. And Caden got 4 points, another forward on there. I'm trying to get him going more left. So we just got to get a bit more intensity into our game. We've got to get more guys running their roles. We were missing nearly, 4 guards on the weekend. So we did miss them desperately when we're trying to run a run and trap defense. But I'm at the point with the guys that we could do other things and be like other teams and run a zone and win games, but you don't learn anything from that. So we're trying to teach them a new defense. We're trying to teach them a new offensive set at the minute. So there's a bit of trial and error goes on. And when there's trial and error goes on, it takes some time to build up. But by hopefully the end of this season, the boys are going to have several different sets. They can run against several different types of defense. And hopefully they've learnt the basics of one of the best defenses you can ever run. That's what we're trying to build towards. So when you're trying to teach that and you just can't worry about winning so much. Saturday was disappointing in the fact that we didn't follow instructions as well as we have done in the last few weeks, and we didn't really come to play as much as what we have done in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we can do that in the last 3 games and finish the season off strong, so we're prepared for next season and prepared for the next tournament. Are the boys improving? Yes, they are. We're getting better with each week. Maybe not Saturday. Maybe we took a step back on Saturday, but we're still trying to do the right things. And our last 10 minutes was very good. So, that was our match report from the weekend. So we've only got the one team for a match report. So we'll get out of that for now. Where is it? Stop sharing. And that was our boys from the weekend. So we're 3 games outside the top 4, which is a little disappointing because we could have won all 3 games in the last 3 weeks. And I actually think with the style of basketball I'm trying to teach the boys, if we made finals, we could have really taken it to them. But there's 3 games to go. The team we lost to now actually, they might not have us. I'll have to have a look at it. Because in basketball, if teams end up on even points, the team that has who's got their head-to-head, which is the results between the 2 teams goes through, it'd be pretty close. And that was the team we were playing against on the weekend. So if we make it, we make it. I don't think we're going to make it. We've got to win all 3 games and we've got to beat the top team. But we're just going out there to learn, to play, and to try and improve on a number of things. So that's our goal, So we'll see how we go. I'm not going to be losing any sleep. It's fun to make finals, but it's more fun to learn how to play the game properly, and then you're making finals every season. So that's what most of my teams do. And that's what I'm hoping. If you're not in a team yet, you come into a team, and that's what we help your son or daughter do as well. So you got to go through the hard part. You got to build up. It's the old J curve. And a J curve, for those who don't know it, you tend to go, as you develop, you drop a little bit in performance and confidence. But then as you learn it, I'm going off screen here. Where am I? There. So you go down. But as you start learning things, it comes back up. So, if there's any other clubs looking into this that we share this with, look, one thing we would love to do is we've got teams on a Friday night that we would love you to play against. We're going to send you out an invite. We're doing our intra-club games, but we would love to get another club involved in taking on our best teams in under 12s and under 14s. If your club has got a team looking for an extra game, we would love to hear from you and go from there. I'm getting very close to my 7:30 slot. And I am. So I'm going to save. Like I said, Survivor start tonight. I've got to go watch. Get my priorities right. I've got no one on. I've got no one in the chat. If you've got any questions, we'll talk about other news and events from next week. Send me an email, send me a text, send me whatever, give me a call, and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can. If there's anybody out there with some outstanding invoices, could you please get onto them? I've got to make some referee and coach payments, so that would be really good. And just keep an eye out for Shootathon details, investor details, sponsored it. We're putting that out. And if anything, if you can share our promotions, which we're going to put on the WhatsApp with friends and family, whatever, we need to build our numbers for next term so we get those numbers up so we can financially be stable, but also more importantly, we can provide more things for your children in the way of competition, training, different levels, different accommodation for different skills, different ages, and getting competitions up and started. So, spread the word if you can. Anyway, that's enough from me for one night. I will see you all next week on the BMBA podcast every Monday, 7 o'clock.